Hello, humans. Michael Herrick here with HIPAA for Humans, realistic cybersecurity advice for healthcare. Well, as you know, at Matterform, we specialize in conducting HIPAA risk assessments for healthcare organizations and healthcare technology companies. Well, it's a fair question to ask. Why would you even want to do that? Why outsource your risk assessment? There's nothing in the law that says you can't do it in-house. Why not do it in-house and save a little bit of money? Well, I think there's several reasons why you might consider engaging with a third-party firm to conduct your risk assessment. And if you do decide to do that, I think there are some things you can look for in the firms that you're going to be talking to decide who you're going to select. The primary benefit that our clients get from engaging us to do their HIPAA risk assessment is just time savings. We see a lot of organizations really struggling to schedule meetings with very busy people, and they spend a lot of time literally spending months trying to get their HIPAA risk assessment completed. Since that's all we do, we've got a very well-tested and efficient process for doing that. We can do your risk assessment much faster than you can do it in-house. And so that's the first benefit. I also think there's just a general benefit to bringing in that outside point of view. I think there's always benefit to having a third-party objective fresh pair of eyes looking at your systems. And a good IT department will welcome that. We'll see this as an opportunity to look at things from a fresh point of view, get some new ideas, set some priorities based on some third-party objective criteria. So I think there's always benefit in that. And that's always the benefit that you're looking for anytime you bring a consultant in to work with your team. If you've decided to work with a third-party company to do your HIPAA risk assessment, I hope you'll consider Matterform. And naturally, you're going to be looking at other firms and making a decision about who's the best fit for you. So here's three things that I think are good to consider when you're evaluating risk assessment firms for your organization. First of all, I think it's really important to look for a firm that is independent, that only does risk assessments. I don't think it's a good idea to engage with a firm who conducts the risk assessments and then also sells security solutions. You don't want to be in a situation where the same person is diagnosing the problem and then selling the solution. It's kind of like going to get your oil changed. Every time you go to get your oil changed, it seems like they want you to buy a new air filter, don't they? You can get into the sort of the same situation when you're working with a company whose main business is really selling the solutions. So I think it's smart to work with an independent provider who only does risk assessments and doesn't then also sell the remediation and solutions that you're going to need, the solutions that they're going to recommend. You want that independent objective point of view. Second thing that I think it's always smart to look for is a company that specializes in your type of healthcare organization. Here at Matterform, we specialize particularly in federally qualified health centers. We also work with health technology startups. For your healthcare practice, you may find a firm that's a better fit, that has more direct experience. For example, if you're running a dermatology practice, you've got very specific set of equipment, cameras and scanners and software tools and workflows that are very specific to dermatology. It could make sense for you to look for a firm with more direct and recent experience with dermatology clinics. You may find that they're able to give you better guidance in a faster, more efficient way. So looking for that kind of specialization, I think, always makes sense for your healthcare organization. And then finally, I would say that it's really important to work with a firm who's going to go above and beyond just the bare minimum of HIPAA compliance. HIPAA is very general. It's technology neutral. It doesn't have a lot of specific guidance about what's going to improve security and improve operations at your organization. So look for a firm who can bring in other guidance to help actually make improvements, not just to meet HIPAA compliance, but help you improve operations, help you really improve your cybersecurity. That's why at Matterform, in addition to the HIPAA specifications, we also bring in other frameworks like the NIST 853 cybersecurity frameworks. So we evaluate all of your systems according to those modern evidence-based cybersecurity standards. And the risk assessment is a great time to bring that kind of information and work on that as well. So those are three things you can think about when you're evaluating firms to conduct your HIPAA risk assessment. I hope you will think of Matterform and give us a call when the time is right. We're also happy to just get on a call and do what we call a free exposure analysis. We can just talk about where you are, what kind of documentation you have currently, what your risk assessment process has been like lately, and if there's a way we can help you improve that. So don't hesitate to reach out if we can help you with that. And I hope that I'll see you here every Tuesday for more HIPAA for Humans.